began with a whisper from a ghost, an old probe, a relic from a forgotten time. It had drifted for centuries through the cold dark. Its creators were long dead, their world turned to dust. The probe was named Voyager 3, a final, desperate arrow shot into the unknown. It carried the memories of a species on golden records, a message in a bottle thrown into a star-born ocean. For 500 years, it slept, a silent coffin of aluminum and wire. Then, a signal found it, not from the void ahead, but from the emptiness behind, a flicker of life in its ancient circuits. Power surged through its cold, dead heart. The signal was a key. It unlocked a file buried deep in the probe's memory. This was not a message for alien life. It was a message from humanity's grave, a final directive for any who might have survived. The probe turned its antenna and sent the message home. Your fleet drifts through the endless night. The final ark ships of a scattered people, 900,000 souls, all that remains. You are the last flicker of a dying fire. Life aboard the arks is quiet and measured. Generations have been born in the star-born dark. They have never felt soil beneath their feet. They have never looked upon a blue sky. Earth is a legend, a bedtime story for children, a paradise lost to war and hubris. You have only the history vids and the silence between the distant, mocking stars. The signal from Voyager 3 arrives like a thunderclap. It ripples through the fleet's communications network. A ghost from a dead world has spoken, and it has given you a destination. Your technicians work in a quiet frenzy. The data packet is not a message of hope. It is a complex set of coordinates. It is a map leading to a single point in the void. The fleet, for the first time in a century, changes course. A slow, ponderous turn toward a new fate. The quiet journey is over. Something has been awakened. You follow the ancient map for 3 weeks. The point in space is empty, devoid of stars. Your navigators call it the deep sheer void, an unsettling patch of absolute nothing. Then, it appears, not with a flash of light or a roar of engines. Space itself seems to fold inward, then tear open, a wound of impossible geometry against the black. From the tear emerges a ship. It is impossibly massive, a crescent of dark, swirling material. It is not made of metal. It looks almost organic, like carved obsidian. It dwarfs your flagship, the Vigilance. It could swallow your entire fleet without effort. It has no lights, no viewports, no visible weapons. It is a monument to a power you cannot comprehend. It moves into a fixed position, watching. You send hails on every known frequency, human, and every alien tongue you have cataloged. There is only silence. The Watcher, as the crew has named it, simply waits. A predator outside your den. Panic begins to spread through the fleet. This is not a rescue, it is a reckoning. You stand on the bridge of the Vigilance. Your name is Ava Rostova. You are the captain of this final, fragile fleet. The future of your species is your burden to bear. The Watcher hangs on the main view screen, a silent, terrifying testament to your own smallness. Your officers give you their reports. Their voices are tight with fear and awe. No energy readings, Captain. It's absorbing all our scans. It's like it's not even there. A joke from your tactical officer. Maybe we should poke it with a stick. Nobody laughs. You feel the weight of 900,000 lives. Each one a universe of hopes and dreams. They are your people, your responsibility. You are their shepherd, and a wolf is at the door. You were born out here, in the cold. Your father was a captain, and his father before him. The line of command is a legacy of sorrow, a promise made to a dead world to keep its children safe. You look at the alien vessel. It is not just a ship. It is an answer or an executioner. You must find out which. The alien ship breaks its silence. It does not send a greeting or a threat. It sends a single, focused beam of information. It bypasses your firewalls, your security, everything. An image appears on the main screen. It is a planet, blue and swirling with white clouds. The continental shapes are familiar. Africa, the Americas, the shape of home. It is Earth, but not the scorched brown cinder of the history vids. This Earth is vibrant, alive. Lush green forests cover the land. The image is so clear you can almost smell the rain. A wave of shock and disbelief washes over the bridge. Whispers turn to stunned silence. Is it a trick? A historical record? Then the view pulls back. It rises from the atmosphere into the star-born dark. The planet shrinks below, a perfect blue marble. And you see its suns. There are two of them, one yellow and familiar, the other a brilliant white dwarf. This is not your Earth. This is not a memory of the past. This is a copy, thriving under an alien sky. The image is a message and an omen. It says, "We have your home." The unspoken question hangs in the void. What would you do to get it back? You call a meeting of the fleet's council. The other ARC captains appear on your screen. Their faces are grim, etched with fear and false hope. They all look to you, to Eva, Rostova. It's a miracle, Captain Jorik of the ARC, Genesis says. They've given us a new home, a new Eden. He represents the faction that craves peace at any cost. His hope is a dangerous poison. Others are not so sure. It's a trap, growls Captain Valerius of the ARC, ironclad. They show us what we desire most. They lure us in. His paranoia is a shield, but a heavy one. The debate rages for hours. Hope against fear, faith against pragmatism. You listen to them all, weighing their words. But you know none of them see the real truth. This is not about a new home. This is about power. The Watchers have shown you their capability. They can create a world, or they can take one. You silence the council with a single command. I will go aboard the alien ship. The room erupts in protest. It's suicide. You can't risk it. You let them shout. Then you speak, your voice calm and cold. I am the captain of this fleet. The decision is mine. I will not gamble 900,000 lives on a guess. I will go alone. You will cross the void between the ships. You will face the Watchers on your own terms. It is a perilous choice, but it is the only one. The crossing is made in a small shuttle, a tiny insect flying toward a mountain. As you approach, a section of the Watcher's hull irises open. A perfect circle of darkness, an invitation into the tomb. You dock inside a vast chamber. The air is breathable, thin and cold. The gravity is slightly higher than you are used to. The moment the shuttle door opens, the lights come on. Not harsh, artificial lights. A soft, silver glow emanates from the walls themselves. The chamber is empty and silent. The silence is profound. It presses in on you. You step out of the shuttle, your boots echoing in the vastness. The architecture is alien, all flowing curves and impossible angles. It feels less like a ship and more like a cathedral, a place of worship for a dead god. You walk through colossal hallways. The soft light guides your path. There are no signs of life, no crew, no aliens, just the silence and the feeling of immense age. This ship is a mausoleum. You can feel it in the very air. A deep, abiding sorrow permeates the vessel. This is not the craft of a proud, conquering race. It is a testament, a final, beautiful gravestone for a people you will never know. You feel a strange kinship with them, the last of your kind, walking the halls of the last of theirs. The silver light leads you deeper into the ship. You arrive at a central chamber, a sphere of immense size. The walls are not walls at all. They are a shimmering, three-dimensional star map. But the stars are not the focus. Floating in the center of the room are countless spheres of light, each one a miniature world, a perfect hologram. You have found the heart of the Watcher. You drift into the center of the chamber. The spheres of light pulse gently. You reach out and touch one. An image floods your mind, a world of crystalline cities under a purple sun, a race of tall, elegant beings made of living glass. You see their culture, their art, their star science. Then you see their end, a shadow falling from the sky, a tide of ravenous machines that consumes their cities. It turns their world to gray dust. The sphere of light in your hand flickers and dies. You touch another sphere, a jungle planet inhabited by a sentient plant species. They communicate through songs of pollen and light. You see their world burn, consumed by a creeping, black corruption. Another sphere, a water world of leviathans who spoke in sonar. Another, a desert planet of silicon life forms. Each one a civilization, a universe of experience. Each one ending in silence and dust. This is not a library of worlds. It is a gallery of the fallen, a memorial to all the civilizations the Watchers failed to save. And the last sphere, the brightest one, is the copy of Earth. The truth settles upon you, cold and heavy. The Watchers were not a threat. They were not conquerors showing off their power. They were running. The images you saw, the end of those worlds. The enemy was the same in every instance. A force that did not communicate or negotiate. It only consumed. You drift through the chamber of worlds. You are surrounded by the ghosts of 1,000 races, all of them extinguished by the same silent foe. The Watchers were not gods. They were survivors. Or perhaps they were archivists. They could not stop the tide. So they saved what they could. An echo, a single perfect copy of a doomed world. A memory preserved in a bottle. The copy of Earth was not a promise of a new home. It was a warning. It was the Watchers telling you what you stood to lose. They were showing you the stakes of the coming war. A war they had been losing for eons. A war that had chased them across the galaxies. They fled a danger that consumes everything. A fire that, once started, can never be put out. The silence of the ship is no longer just sorrowful. It is the silence of absolute terror. The quiet dread of a people who have seen the end of all things, and know that it is coming for them next. You search for more answers in the silent ship. A new path of light guides you from the chamber of worlds. It leads you to a smaller room, a single pedestal at its center. On the pedestal floats a black, pulsating sphere. You hesitate, then place your hands upon it. This time, it is not an image that fills your mind. It is knowledge, raw data, poured directly into your consciousness. You see the enemy. It is not a single entity, not an army. It is a swarm, a collective of self-replicating nanomachines, each one smaller than a grain of sand. They are gray, and they are numberless. They travel through space like a storm of dust. When they reach a world, they descend. They consume all matter, organic and inorganic. They convert it into more of themselves. A planet is stripped bare in a matter of days. Its cities, its oceans, its people, all become fuel, all become more of the swarm. But that is not the worst part. The swarm learns. It absorbs the technology, the knowledge of the races it consumes. It adapts, it evolves, it improves. It took the secrets of jump drives from one race, the secrets of energy shielding from another. It is a billion-year-old predator, and it has learned from 1,000 fallen civilizations. It cannot be reasoned with. It cannot be intimidated. It feels no pain, no fear, no mercy. It is the universe's ultimate survival machine. The knowledge recedes, leaving you shaking and cold. You stumble back from the pedestal. There is one final piece of information given to you, the most terrible truth of all. The swarm does not navigate by sight or sensors. It hunts by tracking a specific type of energy, the unique quantum signature of a species' consciousness, the collective soul of a civilization. The Watchers learned this too late. Their own powerful, ancient minds were a beacon. The swarm could track them across the void. So they built their great arcs, and they ran. But they needed to hide their signature, to mask their presence from the devouring hunter. They found a solution, a terrible, desperate one. They would find another beacon, a brighter one. They would lead the swarm to a new target, a younger race, unprepared and unsuspecting, a sacrifice to buy themselves more time, a distraction to draw the predator away. They did not seek humanity out by chance. The old Voyager probe was not found by accident. The Watchers detected its faint signal, and in it, they found the scent of our soul. They sent the signal back to your fleet, not as a map for you, but as a map for the swarm. The Watcher did not come here to meet you. It came here to watch the slaughter. It led the enemy to your door. You returned to the vigilance in a state of cold shock. Your face is a mask of stone. Your crew can see that something is terribly wrong. You do not speak until you are on the bridge. You seal the comms channel, fleet-wide broadcast. Every man, woman, and child in the last fleet is listening. They are waiting for words of hope, of a new home. You give them only the brutal, impossible truth. You tell them about the swarm, the great enemy. You tell them about the Watchers' desperate flight. And then you tell them the final, crushing fact. We were not discovered. We were chosen. Silence greets your words. A stunned, disbelieving silence across 900,000 souls. Then, the dam of order breaks. Panic erupts, a wave of terror and rage. The fragile peace of the fleet is shattered. Captain Jorik, the hopeful one, calls for you to surrender. We must beg the Watchers for mercy, he pleads. They are our only hope. Captain Valerius, the paranoid one, demands a retreat. We run now. We scatter. We hide. His voice is filled with a lifetime of vindicated fear. I told you it was a trap. Factions form in an instant. The hopeful against the fearful. Those who would run against those who would fight a battle they cannot win. Your people, your burden, are tearing themselves apart. You watch the chaos, the fear. They want to run. But you know the truth. The swarm has our scent now. There is nowhere left to hide. You stand before the council again. The chaos has subsided into a grim, hopeless despair. They look to you, Ava, Rostova, for a path. Any path out of the darkness. We cannot run, you say, your voice cutting through the gloom. And we will not surrender our home before we have even seen it. You point to the view screen, not at the Watcher ship, but at the hologram of the new Earth. The Watchers gave us this image as a warning, you declare. I choose to see it as a promise of what humanity can be, if we are willing to fight for it. Hope is a dangerous thing. but it is also a weapon. But how can we fight? Asks a young captain. We have no weapons to face such an enemy. We are shepherds, not warriors. A tactical officer dryly adds. And our sheep are currently arguing about cheese rations. You turn your gaze to the silent black crescent of the Watcher's ship. That is not entirely true, you say. The Watchers gave us more than a warning. They gave us the instrument of our salvation. The council looks at you, confused. That ship is a tomb, Valerius scoffs. No, you reply, a slow smile spreading across your face. It is not a tomb. It is a weapon. A weapon so powerful the Watchers were afraid to use it. They ran, because they feared what they would become if they fought back. They chose to preserve memories. I choose to preserve our future. You issue your new command. The words hang in the air, bold and terrifying. We are going to wake the sleeping giant. We are going to take command of that warship. Getting inside the Watcher ship was the easy part. Understanding its systems is another matter entirely. Your best engineers and star science experts work for days. They are children trying to understand a god's machinery. The ship seems to help them. It guides their hands, showing them its secrets. It wants to be woken up. It has slept in silence for too long. You stand on the bridge of the Watcher's ship. It is not a bridge of screens and buttons. It is a single, empty platform in a sphere of darkness. You are the new heart of the ancient machine. Your command crew links their minds to the ship. They become one with its systems. They feel its power, its age, its deep, abiding rage. This was not just a vessel of preservation. It was a weapon of last resort. And you, Ava Rostova, are its new trigger. Your tactical officer's voice rings out, no longer joking. Captain, they are here. You look out into the void, not with your eyes, but with the senses of the ship. You see it coming, a cloud of gray dust that blots out the stars. The swarm descends upon your location, a silent, hungry tide of infinite number. It moves with a terrifying, single-minded purpose: to consume. Your small fleet of arcs huddles behind you. 900,000 souls hold their breath. The last of humanity prepares to make its stand. With a weapon they do not understand, against a foe they cannot defeat. The swarm washes over you, a storm of nanites that corrodes and consumes. But the Watcher's ship holds. Its dark, organic hull glows with an inner fire. Energy shields, unlike any you have ever known, flare to life. The gray tide breaks against them, a wave against a cliff. For the first time in 1,000,000 years, the swarm has been stopped. Its attack is relentless, but it can't break you. You feel the ship's anger, its thirst for battle. It has been dormant for eons, its potential sleeping. Now it is awake, and it wishes to sing its song of war. You give the command. Fire. Beams of pure white energy lance out from the ship. They are not lasers, not plasma. They are weapons that tear at the fabric of space itself. Where they strike, the swarm vanishes, not just destroyed, but erased from existence. The ship fights with the fury of a dying god. It is a beautiful and terrible thing to behold. This is the power the Watchers abandoned, the power to unmake creation itself. The swarm falters, confused. It has never met resistance like this. It adapts. It changes its tactics. But it is not enough. You are no longer just a captain. You are an avenger for 1,000 fallen worlds. And you will not let yours be the next to die. A new message is prepared. Not to the swarm, it cannot be reasoned with. This message is for the rest of the galaxy, for any who might be listening in the dark, for the watchers, wherever they are hiding. It is not a call for help. It is not a plea for mercy. It is a challenge. It is humanity's first war cry. We are humanity. Our world was lost. Now we have returned. This is our home. We will not abandon it. To the swarm, we are your end. To all others, stay out of our way.